Good morning, yogis, and welcome back onto the mat with me. For today's class, we'll be practicing a Yin class with some deeper stretches than we usually go into. Long holding the postures for 3 to 5 minutes. For this practice, grab hold of a blanket. If you've got one, you can use. And then also, if you have 2 brick blocks, alternatively, you can also use a couple of thick books or just roll up your blanket and cushion. If you have a bolster, you can also use that. A couple of pillows. So let's begin our practice coming into seated, easy seat for a short meditation. So allow yourself to gently arrive on your mat, legs are crossed, bringing hands palm facing upward to the knees, or to rest gently in the lap, and then close the eyes. Allow yourself a few moments now to connect to the breath, deeply inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Allow your shoulders to drift away from the ears as you begin to lengthen up from the base of the spine, gently tucking the chin in towards the chest. Deep breaths in and out. Beginning to notice sounds around you, either within the room or outside. Just noticing what those sounds are and not attaching to them in any way. And then gently bringing your awareness back to the breath. And as we sit here today with focus and awareness on our breath, being very aware that all life is connected. In the breath that you breathe in and exhale, somebody else breathes in and exhales. Allowing yourself this short moment of reflection, noticing any sensations within the body, not attaching in any way, just noticing if you're holding any stiffness. Noticing any emotions that you've brought with you onto the mat. There's no right or wrong emotion, but just acknowledge that they're there and then allow them to drift off into the background. All the while anchoring to your breath and becoming present in this moment, the only moment that exists. Allow yourself a last few breaths here in silence. Having found a place of stillness and having taken time to go within. When you're ready, you can gently flutter the eyes open, allowing yourself to come back into the room and into your space. So let's begin with our session today. We're going to take the stretches a bit deeper than we usually do. And I encourage you to not only go into the deeper stretch, but still to go into the principle of Yin Yoga, looking for your edge of around 5. And then allowing yourself to settle in to each stretch. Yin is a very meditative practice, so it's really all about going within. So we're going to take our first posture, which is called half saddle. And for that you will need 2 bricks. And we'll place the bricks, because we're going to take half saddle and reclined fish. So for this, you can either use a couple of pillows, your blocks, a rolled up blanket, whatever you've got handy. So start off with the legs extended forward. Let's first take a couple of stretches into the hips by putting the soles of the feet onto the mat and allowing yourself just to roll over from side to side in windshield wiper. And then when you're ready, after having done a couple of those and just loosening up through the hips, let's get ready now to go into our first shape. So right leg is extended forward. We're going to take half saddle. So back of the foot or top of the foot is flat. Thigh bones are lined up to the long edge of the mat. Knees are hip width apart. So if this is not accessible to you, you can also have the foot out slightly. So just adjust into a way that feels accessible to you. We gently tuck the hips in, and then we're going to recline back, coming into a reclined fish. So just adjust your props in any way that you need. And allow the arms to come out toward the sides of the body. Relax into the shape, and we are here for 3 minutes. So just check in with what's going on. This is a lovely stretch through the front of the left thigh into the hip flexor, and also a stretch into the knee. But there shouldn't be any pain here, so just check for that sweet spot. Allow yourself now to settle into the posture and the shape and let go. Become aware once more of your breath. Close your eyes. Follow your inhalation and exhalation. Relax through the shoulders, whole upper body is relaxed. Soften the entire front body, allowing yourself to surrender down into the mat. Deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Allowing yourself to fold into the shape, following the 3 principles of Yin Yoga, finding your appropriate edge, and resolving to be still and to hold the posture. Deeply inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Allowing this meditative yin practice of stillness today, tapping into the power of your breath, allowing yourself to quieten the mind. Deep breaths in and out. Inhale and exhale. softening the entire body over your blocks or bolsters, allowing yourself to melt down into the ground beneath you. Deeply inhaling and exhaling. We're moving into the last few minutes in this shape. And gently turning the palms down to touch the ground. Begin to press out of the shape, pressing the palms into the mat, rolling up back into your seated posture, sending the legs forward and giving them a little shake on your mat. Let's go over to the other side. So we're taking the right foot now in towards the right thigh. Sole of the foot is tucked in. Top of the foot is flat on the ground. Thigh bones are in line with one another. Gently tuck the hips under and begin to lower yourself down onto your blocks or bolster, whatever you're using. Once more, set yourself up here, bringing the hands out beside you to once more surrender into the shape. We're here for 3 minutes. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. Once more, surrendering into the shape and noticing where in your body you are feeling the stretch. Being able to fully surrender. Breathing deeply into the chest cavity, expanding. As you inhale and as you exhale, just allowing the breath to fall away. Arms are gently resting on the ground, relaxed. Belly, pelvis, legs relaxed. Allowing yourself a last few moments melting down, using this beautiful meditative practice of Yin Yoga to go within, to take time out, to allow the body to benefit from the deep stretch. Stretching ligaments, connective tissues and fascial layer of the body. So doing some deep work. Gently coming out of the shape, pressing the palms into the mat and gently rolling out, coming back into seated, sending the legs forward and gently give the legs a shake, moving from side to side. Remove your blocks out of the way. And we get ready now to come into the next shape, which is kind of like frog, and it's kind of the opposite of having the soles of the feet together in butterfly, but doing it on the belly. So rolling over onto the belly, spreading the knees wide apart on the mat, so allow them to really drift even off the mat if that is available to you. And then just reverse here, so you can see. And then allowing the belly to come down, and the feet to touch here. And then drawing the forehead or arms are elbows to the edges of the mat, one hand on top of the other. Allow your forehead to rest. So the goal here in this posture is for the feet to eventually come down to the ground. So you're creating an almost diamond shape. The target area here is within the groin and hip joint area. So just allow yourself to let go into the shape and let gravity do the work here. We are here for 3 minutes, so just let go into the shape. Once more, walking your way through the shape. As you begin to notice sensations in the body, how can you soften just that bit more? Letting go completely. Taking yourself to the area where you feel that the deep work is being done. Deep breaths. With every exhale, really allow the body to soften just that little bit more. Notice the feet gently brushing against one another. Noticing where you can soften through the hips, where can you just allow the feet to draw down. What is being presented for you here? Bringing full awareness to the breath throughout the practice. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Noticing if you are able to surrender just that little more. Maybe if the postures become quite accessible, you can widen the knees a little more. Just adjust. Taking our last 15 seconds. And you can gently draw the knees back onto the mat, draw them together, extend the legs back. We're moving into Sphinx Pose, so drawing up, elbows underneath the shoulders, hands extended forward, and arising out of the shoulders here, so no dumping down. And we're here for 5 minutes, so allow yourself to let go here now. Soften through the thighs. Feel the only pressure here through the elbows and the forearms as you press them down into the ground. Taking some deep, beautiful breaths here. Allowing this practice of Yin Yoga to give you the time and space to just go within, nowhere to be, nothing to do. Just hold the posture. Don't move, be still. Close the eyes. Take this time to go inward. Noticing what's presented into the body as you move through each of the shapes. If you find yourself beginning to dump into the shoulders, just rise back out. So really use the elbows, forearms to draw in to the ground. Soften through the lower back. Inhale and exhale. As you inhale, feel the belly press down into the earth beneath you. And as you exhale, feel your chest opening a little bit wider. Moving into the last 15 seconds here. Just surrender that tiny bit more as we get ready to move out. Gently spread the elbows out to the edges of the mat. You can gently rock the hips from side to side, tuck the toes, bring the palms underneath the shoulders, and gently begin to roll back, coming into child's pose, pressing the heels, the buttocks back down to the heels, and then allowing the forehead to drop down and kiss down onto the mat. Couple of deep breaths here. Just taking a counter pose, allowing yourself to just settle here for a couple of breaths. On the next exhale, press the palms into the mat. Rise up into tabletop. Take the knees a little bit further apart. Let's take a couple of cat-cow. So inhale to draw up the belly and gaze forward. Be gentle here. Don't overdo the movements. Gaze towards navel. Inhale, drop in and gaze forward. Exhale, draw up spine, gaze to navel. Last one, inhale, drop belly, gaze forward. Exhale, gaze to navel, coming back into neutral. We're going into the next shape, which is sleeping swan with an addition of thread the needle. So we're going to take ourselves over to the left side. Let's see how this is going to work. So raising up left leg, we're going to sweep the knee in towards the wrist. Foot comes across sideways over the mat, and then you can gently lower back down into your swan pose or pigeon pose, as you know it in hatha yoga, and then allow yourself to settle here. So there's a few options for you. You can either lower down into sleeping swan by resting, bring hands into prayer and rest the area of the third eye over onto the fingers. Or you can go into, take the stretch a little bit deeper. Just be sure that the hips here are squared to the front edge of the mat, so you're not rolling over onto one side or the other. If you're having any issues, you can grab hold of a block or bolster and prop that under the hips to maintain your alignment. So now we're going to take our right arm, no, we're going to take our left hand and, no, right hand comes under to thread through, drop the cheek down onto the ground and allow yourself a moment just to adjust and settle here. So right hand is threaded through, we're coming into thread the needle. You have the option to either rest the hand in front of the face, or you can draw the hand around the body to grab hold of the foot that is on that side. So just go into whatever feels right for you here. Again, you have the option to just take Sleeping Swan, resting on the forearms, or you can add the deepness into the stretch by coming into thread the needle arms. So just allow yourself now to settle down into the shape and breathe. We're here for 3 minutes. Big, beautiful breaths, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Just noticing what level of edge you're at and adjusting accordingly. So if you feel that the posture is too intense, just gently back out, reverse 1 or 2 steps. If you feel that that everything feels quite easy, that you want to extend the arm around and add that into your stretch. Moving into the last 30 seconds here. And gently press the palm back into the ground, roll back over. Let's gently tuck the back toe, press into palms, walk the back knee towards the hands, and gently stretch back into tabletop. Take a moment here as we take another couple of cat-cow. Inhale, drop belly gaze forward. Exhale, drop spine gaze to navel. Inhale, drop belly gaze forward. Exhale, gaze to navel. Last one, inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, drop spine gaze to navel. And then we're gently going to move into Sleeping Swan now on the other side. So we're taking the right leg to extend back, and we're going to move the right knee in towards right wrist. Draw the foot over, and then we gently slide back down, coming into Pigeon Pose. Again, if you're not able to have your foot or your leg over at this angle, you can draw the heel back in towards the hip flexor. Just watch your knee, watch your hip. Gently lower down, coming onto forearms. If you went into Sleeping Swan on the left side, then do the same on the right side. Ensure that the hips are squared. Maybe you need to grab hold of a bolster or a block or a pillow just to make sure you are not rolling from side to side. If you're taking it further with thread the needle arms, thread the left hand under, drop the cheek, and then extend the hand around to grab hold of the foot if it can get there. Open up through the shoulder and breathe. Be here for 3 minutes. Allow yourself to surrender and let go into the shape. Relax through the shoulders, relax down into the shape. Allow the body just to melt into the ground. Do what feels good in the body. Listen. So if that means to back off a little, then do so. Maybe this is not part of your practice today. Maybe your body requires something else. Deep breaths as we move into the last 30 seconds of this stretch. Just allow yourself this time, letting go. Gently press the palms into the mat, tuck the back toe, draw the knee closer towards the hands, come back into a tabletop, take a moment here, let's take a last couple of cat-cows. Inhale, drop belly gaze forward, exhale, draw up spine, gaze to navel. Inhale, drop belly gaze forward. Exhale, draw up spine, gaze to navel. Coming back into neutral, let's move now into the next posture, which is puppy pose or melting heart in Yin Yoga. Sliding the hands forward, we're going to drop down the forehead, maintaining the alignment of the hips over the knees. Make sure that you walk the elbows close in towards the face. Join the palms of the hands, and then we're drawing the hands back in prayer, and you can draw the thumb into the nape of the neck, really extending forward and allowing yourself now to settle here for the next minutes. Deep inhale and exhale. If you'd like to take this a bit further, you can use your blocks, so placing a block on either side of the head and placing the elbows down on the block. So coming into the shape like this. Whatever feels right for you. If that's too intense, then you can just place the arms onto the ground. What is going on in your body today? Listen. Deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling. Letting go. Continuously bringing your awareness to the breath. Moving into the last 30 seconds of our melting heart or puppy pose, allowing yourself that last bit of sweet and full surrender. Gently pressing the palms into the mat, walking the hands back towards you. Just press down, buttocks to heels. Allow the forehead to touch down onto the ground. Wrap the hands around the feet. And just take a minute here, completely softening the body down into the ground. Take a little restorative rest posture. Deep breaths. Allow yourself this brief pause before we transition into the last of our yin postures for today. Notice any sensations within the body. Just relax into the shape. Allowing yourself the last few moments in child's pose to restore. And then gently bring the palms underneath the shoulders, press them into the mat, rising back up. We're coming into the last of our postures, which is happy baby, but with a little bit more of a deeper stretch. So lying down onto the back, hug the knees into the chest, and then drawing the soles of the feet up. You have the option to either stay here, or if you'd like to, you can intensify the stretch by straightening the legs and holding onto the toes here, or the feet, and just tucking chin in towards the chest and enjoying a lovely deeper stretch. So it's up to you. Listen to your body. If this is accessible for you, then come here. If not, just stay in happy baby, whatever works for you. Just remember to go back within breathing, inhaling and exhaling. Just making sure you're keeping all of the spine pressed down into the ground beneath you. Deeply inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And allowing yourself to once more go to that space of stillness. What does this shape present for you? If it's become too intense, you're welcome to come out and go into happy baby. Just allowing the whole back and spine to sink down into the mat. Allowing the knees to drift down towards the edges of your mat. Once more, honoring the body, listening. Knees are drifting down towards the ground. Chin is slightly tucked in towards the chest. Moving into our last few moments here. Gently lower the feet down to the mat. We're coming into Shabasana or Corpse Pose for final relaxation. Bringing the soles of the feet now to the edges of your mat, allowing the hands to drift out beside the body. Letting go completely now in final relaxation. Tucking the chin slightly in towards the chest. Allow the whole body to sink down as you let go and relax. Begin to scan through the body, searching for any last pockets of tension, allowing them to let go. Beginning with the toes, the soles of the feet and the ankles, scanning for tension, and letting go and relaxing. Moving up now through the shins, into the knees, scanning into the thighs and hamstrings, letting go of any tension. Bringing awareness now into the hips, the hip flexors, softening through the buttocks, allowing the pelvis to be soft, internal organs taking a rest. Bring awareness to the tips of your fingers, moving into your palms and wrists. Allow yourself to fully surrender the hands down into the ground beneath them. Bring awareness into the forearms, elbows and upper arms. Letting go and relaxing. Awareness into the shoulders, the chest, the upper body and the neck. Not holding any tension here. Unclench the jaw. Allow yourself to fully let go. Bring final awareness into the area between the eyebrows. Moving up into the crown. And finally to the back of your head, where it's resting on the mat. Take a last body scan, letting go of any last pockets of tension, allowing yourself to be just here and now. When you are ready, you can bring your awareness back to the breath as you begin to wriggle the toes, taking the tip of the thumb and gently drawing it across the tips of the fingers, allowing the head to roll over from one side to the other. Gently drawing the arms up overhead to take a last deep stretch before either rolling onto your right or your left side. You can stay here while I read our reading for the day. So I have a reading a reading for you today written by Eckhart Tolle, who wrote, "Others' perception of you has nothing to do with you and everything to do with their own experience and expectations. When someone vibrates on a low frequency, you do not need to match their frequency. Turn it around and transform the vibration into a positive and productive energy that fuels you forward." So others' perception has nothing to do with you and everything to do with their own experience and expectations. When someone vibrates on a low frequency, you do not need to match their frequency. Turn it around and transform the vibration into a positive and productive energy that fuels you forward. So, very poignant, I think, for the time that we're in, and just knowing and accepting that I'm finding particularly that being on different frequencies and not aligning with everybody's opinions and thoughts around you, and just knowing that that is okay, then just to accept it as it is, with non-attachment. So allow yourself now to bring the palms together to touch. Gently begin to rub the palms, generating some warmth between the hands. Resting the hands into your heart center, taking a deep inhale. And as you exhale, bow the nose down to the tips of the fingers, acknowledging yourself for always turning up to your practice, honoring your body. And then gently come out. Namaste. Wishing you a truly beautiful day.